Alright, hello and welcome to this recap of our sublimation webinar from the 12th of April. So sublimation can bring us some of the most beautiful hard surface transfers and some of the softest and most durable transfers for polyester fabrics. But how exactly does the process work? I mean, honestly, the first time I heard about sublimation was back in school many years ago. But it's when a substance changes from a solid to a gas without ever passing through a liquid phase. A prime example of this is dry ice. I'm sure this is a scene that everyone has seen at least once in their lifetime, but what we're going to do is apply heat and pressure to our sublimation ink or toner and cause it to go from a solid to a gas and then to a solid again when it cools down. Applying heat and pressure is actually going to cause the polyester fabric or polyurethane coating to open up and bond with the ink and toner on a molecular level. This is why sublimation is going to give you such an amazing feel on polyester fabrics and can work with so many different hard surfaces when they have a polyurethane coating. So let's go ahead and start talking about what you can and can't sublimate and how you can start making money with sublimation. Yes. Money. That thing everyone needs to survive. We need it for goods and services. It's a necessary evil. First, let's talk about the things you can sublimate and what you cannot, because we don't want you to waste your money. If we're talking fabrics, the best option is going to be to sublimate onto white 100% polyester fabric for the best results. You're going to press the polyester fabric at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 to 40 seconds with ink, and then 400 degrees for about 50 to 60 seconds with toner for the best results. Yes, you can also sublimate on a 50% polyester, 50% whatever shirts. Here in this example, I have a 50% poly, 50% cotton shirt, but you can notice it has a faded or retro look on it. So I've seen a lot of cases where people will charge a little bit extra for this look, but it doesn't seem like a bad option because you're not going to be doing any extra work. So no reason not to give your customer this option and maybe charge an extra $2 or $3 for it. All you're going to be doing is using a 50-50 shirt. Now, when it comes to the papers for cotton and then the spray that you're going to be using to transfer your sublimation ink on cotton, it can be some of the most frustrating stuff there is. Now, we've tested a lot of it. It's given me nightmares because some of the papers from some companies I really like, but as of right now, with the current technology, I just don't feel that it's ready. Now, the next generation of sublimation printers, they are making what's called a clear sublimation ink that will allow you to get the full color range with these type of transfer papers, and hopefully it won't use as much of your sublimation ink as it does right now. And once that time comes, then we're going to really take another hard look at this and probably bring them on because it's really neat. You've also got the spray that you can spray onto the shirt, but you're spraying it on there, it might not be evenly, and it's probably going to wash off. It didn't do that well when we tested it, but I don't have any now, so I didn't have any footage to make. So now you might be wondering, what does that have to do with money? Well, let's talk about how you can make some money. I've got all these hard surfaces here, and maybe I'm just going to be starting with a vinyl cutter. Well, maybe you want to expand from just doing t-shirts and adhesive vinyl. Doing sublimation onto like mugs, keychains. You can see I've even got a bottle opener here. Well, how can you make money on this? Well, of course you can just go set up shop somewhere and then do custom designs by putting people's photographs on there, because that's where you're going to make a lot of money. Rather than just doing random designs, if you personalize it, capture someone's special moment, you can charge a little bit more for that. You can already have your pre-done one sitting out and then charge, like say a little bit more for a personalized one. I'm not going to really give you much pricing because I don't really sell these things, so I don't really know how much you could sell it for in your area. Now, another thing that you could do is say if like a local bed and breakfast opens up nearby. Go ask them, take their logo, print a few things. I know that we sell some sample kits here with multiple items on that you can use and just do, apply your applications to with their designs and take it over there, drop it off, and maybe send them a list of your pricing. It's not really going to work for the big chains unless you're a huge company doing a lot of sublimation because they buy a lot in bulk. But it's really going to be for your small mom and pop stores or your bed and breakfasts that are going to be your best bet for that. Well, what if I'm doing engraving awards? Why not start putting photographs on these awards? Really start customizing it, do some real personalization, and you can make tons of money just by adding a photograph of somebody on something. So, don't limit yourself just to one thing. This is an easy way to expand your business. So let's just dive right into the machines and start with the ink side of things with the Sawgrass printers. These are going to be the only desktop inkjet printers that have been designed for use with the Sublimation ink. The machine that you see right here in front of you is the Sawgrass SG800 Sublimation ink printer, but I'll get right back to that. But now I want to talk a little bit more about the smaller SG400 from Sawgrass. The SG400 is going to be right around $550, making it the lowest cost option for you to get in the sublimation marketplace. It has a maximum printing size is 8.5 inches by 14 inches and can be used with the standard sized ink cartridges. Software is included with this machine when purchased, and this machine works on both Windows and Mac computers. Next, we have the SG800 that you see right here spinning on the table. This machine is going to start around $1,600 and has a maximum printing width of 11 by 17 inches and can use standard size as well as high capacity ink cartridges and can print up to 156 prints per hour. The software is included with this machine as well, and it works on both Windows and Macintosh computers. Now, you may have noticed in the little stat sheets that they had a little blurbs about a bypass tray. So let's go ahead and talk about those for a moment. The bypass tray can be configured. There's one for the SG400 and the one for the SG800. The one for the SG400 will give it the ability to print up to 51 inches in length, so you can have a maximum printing width of 8.5 inches with a maximum length of 51 inches. Now, the SG800, you can utilize larger format media, like say 13 inches by 19 inches, an A3 size, and it can hold up to an additional 100 sheets. And it can also allow you to print with longer media length up to 51 inches. You also saw the option tray. The option tray really just gives you the ability to add 250 additional sheets of media, increasing your capacity to 500 sheets total. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about software. The Virtuoso Print Manager Studio comes free with every Sawgrass printer. It may come on a USB stick, but don't worry if it doesn't. You can just go to sawgrassink.com, create an account, and then download it for no charge. The only thing you need to have to make sure that it runs is a working Sawgrass printer. You'll just go to the product page, select the download tab, and then click this button right here to download it. You'll have the option for the Windows or the Mac installer. If you're going to be using the wide format VJ, you'll need to make sure that you have a Windows machine. Once you install it, it's going to be a passive program and it's going to run in your bottom right hand tray. You can activate it though, however, by right clicking on it, and it'll have some options here. I can also launch the Creative Studio. Now that's another free program that Sawgrass gives you, and that's going to run out of your browser. And once you launch the Creative Studio, that's going to open up in your browser, and basically it's a free design studio that will create prints for your printer, and it works fantastic. Excuse me. They recommend that you use Google Chrome with it, and look at all these blank canvases that they have. They're mock-ups. They're not going to print out the entire thing, but it will make sure that it's got it about the right size. I'm going to demonstrate a t-shirt here, but you can see they have so many different things you can choose from. So I advise you to check this out whenever you have a chance. So as you can see, I'm just going to maybe just pick a youth t-shirt here. And, whatever. Got a few designs here. There's two versions. You've got a premium version and the free version. The free version, you've got some designs that you can edit, but the premium version unlocks everything. So just for the free here, I'm going to show you, you've got some pretty cool things you can do. Let me just finally finish freaking out and deciding what I'm going to choose. May have to go through and edit this down depending on how long. Okay, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so we got the color. I'm going to go with white because we're sublimating. And now I can pick the size. And see, it's going to give me a nice little mock-up here where we're going to put the design. I can move it around, whatnot, but let's just go ahead for time's sake and get to it. And then I'm going to go, you see, you've got all these things. Let's just go to something easy, baseball, a sport, and make a baseball t-shirt. And You can see right here, we've got some options on the right side, and then the design and everything's on the left side. And then on the top, you've got a couple things you can choose from. To adjust the text, I'm just gonna go ahead and go on these boxes on the right side. And then once I'm happy with something, or when I decide that I want to spell something correctly, once you're done, you're just gonna click OK over there on the right side. And then it's going to actually adjust the design for you right there live. And you can see I've got all the normal boxes like you would in a normal design program, and I can just go over there with my mouse and adjust the size of it and bring it over with ease. No problem there. And again, this is just a free thing that comes with every Sawgrass printer. All you have to do is create a Sawgrass account, Sawgrass Ink, and then you can have this. So this is more ammo for your arsenal. And yeah. So once you're done, you're going to type in, your title. I don't want anything up here. I don't want a sample text in the front. I just want to have it look like this. So yeah, looks nice. I want to print that. Or no, wait. Let me change the color of my stars real quick. Let's make them yellow. It looks way better. All right, let's print this bad boy. So once you're going to do that, just set your name and click OK. And it's going to save it, give it a name, and once it's completed saving, now it's going to send it. See how I've got it down there in the downloads bar? I'm just going to click that button there. It automatically went to my Virtuoso print manager that was running there. So I'm just going to bring it over and show you. So we've got a couple options here when you're going to print. Not too many, so it's not going to get too complicated, but just enough to where you can do what you want. And everything's been pre-configured in the Sawgrass environment to make it easy. I can make things, for advanced photos. I've got all different types of, substrates I can choose from. But I'm using a Unisub product, and I'm going to be using my QC papers for this that I got from US Cutter. And so it's going to adjust the layout and everything for all of this, and it all comes all pre-done. Because Sawgrass did a really good job of making a nice closed environment for their printers, because these are the only desktop inkjet printers designed for sublimation ink. But as you can see, I've got all types of things, colors, just not a bunch of options, but everything that you would need to just quickly adjust. You can choose multiple printers, that way if you have multiple Sawgrass printers connected, and yeah, send it to it, it's going to start printing, and then you are good to go. And that pretty much covers the, that's the Creative Studio. And like I said earlier, you can print from any program, and you just want to make sure that you select that Virtuoso Print Manager. You don't want to print directly from the Sawgrass printers that are installed, because if you do that, the color is going to be not configured for sublimation, but for normal printing. And so your color is going to be off, and you just wasted your ink. So when we send the job off to the Virtuoso Print Manager, it's going to give us this little pop-up here saying, hey, Virtuoso Print Manager accepted the job, and then it will load up, and then you'll have those options. Like I said, I'm going to print from Vinyl Master like you saw. Now I'm printing from Photoshop. Just want to send it to the Virtuoso Print Manager. And then, yeah, same thing. Going to have the little side thing pop up, and then it's going to bring over, yeah, see, I'm doing a little screenshot here for you so you can see it. See? Because it doesn't pop up in this monitor, but that's what'll pop up, and then you'll have the Virtuoso Print Manager option. So Sawgrass did a really good job about bringing everything together in a nice closed environment, making everything perfect for their printers and their ink. So if you use Sawgrass ink with Sawgrass printers, you're going to have the best colorization possible. The gel ink packs that they use are, you don't have to worry about any extra oxygen getting inside of them and ruining your color. So they do a very good job on that. So, and they have a wonderful technical support team. Big shout out to Adam for helping me get through making this video, because I had some issues with all the printers I had installed. So, if you have an issue with your Sawgrass or you're a little confused, contact them. They have a wonderful technical support team that is available Monday through Friday. One last thing I wanted to touch on real quick was the wide format VJ628. This is the wide format Sawgrass inkjet printer, where you have several ink options where you can do like double cyan, yellow, magenta, and black, or you could do their photo realistic where you have light cyan and light magenta. So if you're looking to do like realistic, pure, perfect near photos, this is going to be the best option. They have neon inks as well. Great wide format printer for really affordable price around so. And now it's time to talk about the new kid on the block, Sublimation Toner. And we're going to be focusing on the Uninet iColor family of printers because they have really got Sublimation Toner down. So much power with the Uninet iColor printers! Oh, excuse me. So there's the 350, which is the dedicated Uninet Sublimation Toner printer. Then we have the 550, which is the white toner, sublimation, neon, clear toner, everything printer. And then you have the larger iColor 600, which is your white toner, sublimation, everything printer as well too. It also has a maximum printing width of 11 inches. Now back to the Uninet iColor 350. This is the first dedicated sublimation toner printer from Uninet, and it has amazing speed when it prints. I'm going to show you a quick example of 3 prints now. Now be warned, only my printer makes race car sounds, so your 350 will not when you purchase it. As you can see, it quickly made those. You can get up to 20 prints in 1 minute. You don't have to worry about clogging any print heads or anything because you're dealing with toner, and it's extremely easy to install and print with. In fact, it's so easy that it takes less than a minute. I'm about to show you right now. The first thing you're going to do is take out your USB stick that comes with your printer, and yeah, it's going to look like this. And you're going to plug it in. It's going to bring this page up. You've got all these options here. You have, like step-by-step guides, quick start guides. They already have one printed out for you, but if you need to see it again, they've got it here. They've also got the printer driver if you want to go ahead and install that too. But yeah, pretty easy. But what you're going to do is just right-click this ICC profile and then just click Install Profile. It's going to install it. Then you're going to open up your printing program. I have Photoshop right here. Just going to select Print. And then I'm going to tell it, okay, use the Uninet iColor 350 as the printer. And then we want to make sure that we are telling it to have Photoshop manage the color so that then we can then select the ICC profile. Scroll down here to the bottom, there's my iColor 350 dye sublimation print profile right there. Hit print and we're off to the races. And now let's take a look at the iColor 550 and the 600. So as I mentioned before, these printers are pretty much everything printers. And the way that works is by using different types of toner cartridges. There's all types: fluorescent, sublimation, normal white toners, and then even clear for glitter papers. The white toner is going to be used for putting, designs onto black substrates, like I'm putting onto a black mug right here. You can't do that with normal sublimation. So anyways, enough about that. I've made tons of videos about that, and then we can look into that a little bit further if you want to check out my channel. But, on the iColor 550 and 600, you can change the position of the white toner, so you can do underprinting and overprinting. You can also swap the white toner cartridge out with the normal black cartridge, and then do CMYK printing for like white t-shirts and stuff. Now, again, these cartridges are not sublimation cartridges. If I want to sublimate, then I just pull out all of my normal toner cartridges, the CMYK and my white toner cartridge, and then replace them with the iColor sublimation toner cartridges. Yeah, that's right. That's all I have to do to swap between going from from cotton to polyester and everything in between. Just swap out the toner cartridges. Since everything is contained inside the cartridge and the roller, I don't have to clean anything. And besides, I wouldn't really want to clean anything by mixing it, but I'm just going to swap the position of the black and white toner cartridge so that I can, black and cyan toner cartridge so that I can have underprinting and overprinting. Yeah, that's pretty much right there. It's a business in a box with the iColor 550 and the 600. The 550 has a maximum printing width of 8.5 inches and a maximum printing length of 52 inches, while the iColor 600 has a maximum printing width of 11 inches and a maximum printing length of 52 inches. So very versatile machines, but with these you're actually going to print through the RIP software, and we have another video showing you the RIP software. And feel free to check that out if you want to. Let's talk a little bit about sublimation toner and when you apply it. So this is after being wiped down with, say, nail polish remover, or if you use a SubliClean. Because when you're using toner, the actual toner powder is what's actually carrying the sublimation over to the substrate. So like Sawgrass, it's actually a gel that carries the sublimation stuff over. And for toner, it's the toner powder. So what we have to do is just take some fingernail polish, and wherever my paper towels are, oh, here they are, paper towels. Alright, sorry for being unprepared. Alright, just take it and just wipe it. See? It just comes right off. Easy peasy. Get that nice and clean. And there you have it. Nice shiny mug. You see, all of it comes off right here onto that, and it's ready to go. Another option would be to use, like, say, the Sublimation, which is just a clear putter to put over it. And that's what I did here with this coaster to get that great look. And when you use toner, man, look how well I have a transfer I got. Let's compare it to the ink on that same type of coaster. And this is a coaster that we sell at US Cutter. It just works much, much better with the toner than it does with the ink. This is the best you can get with it with the ink in comparison. So I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what's Sublimation. So let me just show you the process. Like I said, it's just a clear film that's going to allow the sublimation toner to pass through it when it's a gas, and then go into the polyurethane coating without leaving of the actual toner residue on the coaster. And yeah, it's just really easy. And I'm going to do a sloppy job by just cutting the sides here. We'll start with the right side, and then we're going to skip over here to a complete done with our movie magic. And yeah, just going to carefully cover it, press it down, just like I'm going to do the normal temperature, what, 400 degrees, I think 168 seconds or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it's in that sheet that you can check down all the sublimation temperatures down below. I've got it linked in the comments, so be sure to check that out. And then, oh yeah, here you can see me where I did a bottle opener, you know, the metallic ones. I did both sides in one go, but more on that later. So here we are. I finished up my press, and just gonna peel this off. And you know, this is very hot. I would recommend waiting until it's cold, but you know, for time's sake, I'm gonna do it hot. So please don't do what I do here. And I'm just gonna peel it off. Yeah, that's 400 degrees, dummy. And bam, you can see, got a nice easy transfer. I don't have to clean up. I don't have to wash anything off or worry about breaking it like I have broken them in the past. When it comes to pressing toner to polyester fabric, much easier. You just kind of just peel it and then you're good to go. No problem there. All right, so let's go over a few quick things when it comes to sublimation. First, let's talk about applying our, sublimation to a substrate. When you're doing that, you're going to want to make sure that you have it attached to it very firmly, nice and tight. And how you're going to do that is with sublimation tape, heat-resistant tape. And this is sold at US Cutter. We sell it all the time. We also have a great tape dispenser that makes this way easier that I will post a picture of when I am editing this. So I'll put it right here. So anyways, we'll continue. Got my tape. As you can see, it's curling up and everything. Having a tape dispenser would so make that much easier because I could do it with the sublimatable blank in my hand. So with it right here, I'm gonna have it lined up right here. Lined up. Go with the second one. I'm just gonna try and get my tape straight here. I'm gonna show you something. You see how bad that is? See how much room I have between that? That's not good. That's gonna cause ghosting. So what you wanna do is pull it as tight as possible and then apply the tape. But apply the tape straight when you do. Once you've got a nice firm, then it's ready to go on your mug press and be pressed. So now what happens if you don't secure it all the way? Well, it's going to do something called ghosting. Like, see how I have the bottom of this right here? When I actually put this inside here, it was too big. My piece of paper was too big for it, and so I couldn't actually cover it, and it was loose, and that's what actually caused that fainted little kind of gassed area there. Here's another example of it. I had a loose, it wasn't on that well, and that's why it looks all faded. And especially down there at the bottom, you can see that I just had it hanging over it, and so that's what caused it to ghost. You cannot put Chromoblast inks in your Sawgrass printer once you have loaded sublimation inks into it. Even if you try and clean it out, it'll leave some residue in there. And once you put the sublimation or the Chromoblast inks, or vice versa, it's going to eat it up and destroy your printer. That's not anything that you want. You don't want to throw away money. If you really want to do Chromoblast, then I suggest get a printer just for Chromoblast printing. But do not mix the inks whatsoever. It's going to destroy your printer and make you a very unhappy person. And that is like a very tough call when I have to take those. So please, do not put Chromoblast ink in your sublimation printer. Now, before we wrap this up, I'm just going to go through and answer a few of the questions that I received while I was doing the webinar. Where did we get the mouse pads? US Cutter sells sublimatable mouse pads that you can purchase. We've got a lot of mugs and a lot of other things too, pillowcases. We're really going to be expanding what we offer in sublimatable blanks very soon, so be on the lookout for a plethora of new items. I bought a used SG400. It didn't come with the Virtuoso print manager. It is available online. Yes, you just need to create a sawgrassink.com account. Will the Virtuoso print manager work with an Epson? No, the Virtuoso print manager only works with Sawgrass printers. Let's see. Is the only working sublimation textile 100% polyester? Yes, really. You can also do the 50-50 as I showed earlier, but it looks a little bit faded or retro. Can I print directly on vinyl using the SG800? You can't print directly onto vinyl, but you can sublimate onto white Caesar glitter vinyl. So there's that. There is a Virtuoso Studio for the Mac. Can I use this shirt 100% cotton to sublimate? No, you cannot. You can look at the earlier points in my video to see some information on that. What other program is available for printers? For Sawgrass printers, none. For the toner sublimation toner printers, the 350 you can print from whatever program you want, as long as it lets you choose the correct ICC profile. And then the 550 and 600, they have their own RIP software you'll print from on those. What's going on with Chromoblast for cotton? Chromoblast for cotton, it just works on white 100% cotton. It also works on 50-50, but you're going to want to just perform a contour cut on it. I like Chromoblast for cotton myself, but when I create a mug in the software, I select a mug in the setup, but when I try to print it, it always defaults to 8.5 by 11, and I get a media mismatch. What's up with that? Make sure you set your media size on your printer, and then also make sure that you have the correct media size set in your Virtuoso print manager. You could also have either you're taking the commands from your program or your Virtuoso print manager. One of them could have the wrong settings on there, and it's a media mismatch. So I recently got my Sawgrass SG400, and it only printed twice. I know it says my printer's offline. How do I fix that? Mine says that my printer's offline when I'm not using it, and I've got it connected through the network, but when I go to print, it ends up printing just fine. I'm not really sure what's up with that, but yeah, it's not a problem for me. And let's see, fingernail polish with or without acetone. My fingernail polish is 100% acetone. So does the mug press also do tumblers? The 5-in-1, 4-in-1, and 6-in-1 mug press does also do tumblers. Yes. Yes, for releasing this recording. Keep a bucket. No, I'm not gonna do that. Will it work for metal? Yes, you can sublimate onto stainless steel. Just make sure you use really solid colors on that. Let's see. What should I use to take off the paper? It's too hot. Usually you can wait until the paper's cooled down before you take it off. You saw that I was using scissors. I was just doing that so that we could hurry up and get it done. The name of the tape is heat resistant tape. It is sold at US Cutter. Is Sublimation ink FDA food safe once it's used? The FDA food safe stuff is going to be in the polyurethane coating. So, if you go look at polyurethane coatings, you're going to have different grades. You're going to have food safe, then you're going to have like normal outdoor wear. So they have a lot of different grades, but the one that they're using for your mugs, yes, is a food grade polyurethane coating. What kind of printer can you use for sublimation? You can use Sawgrass printers and you can use iColor printers, as you saw right there. How many transfers can be printed out of a Sawgrass ink cartridge? It really depends on your image, but I read somewhere that they say that ink cartridges, if you're doing about 11 milliliters, that can give you about 220 solid 8.5 by 11 inch prints. I'll let you do the math from there. Yeah. Let's see. Can you print your own design? Yes, you can print from any program for the Virtuoso Print Manager, as well as the 350. You can put any design and bring it into the RIP software for the 550 and the 600. Let's see. Plugged in, powered on. Does the printers come with starter paper? Well, you don't need any special paper for sublimation toner. I would just recommend using, like, say, a thicker paper, a craft paper or something. That way you don't have to worry about it tearing or anything or getting stuck to the mug. For sublimation ink, you do need special paper for it because the ink is actually a gel. So make sure that you get the proper paper for it. How should I price my mugs? So US Cutter, we're not allowed to sell things because we would be competing with our customers, and that's not right. So I don't know. But a customer suggested that he charges 12 ounce for 11 ounce and $12 for an 11 ounce and $15 for a 15 ounce for custom mugs at events. That's that. What's the advantage of sublimation on forever paper versus printing with forever white toner printer? So I'm just going to say, what's the advantage of a sublimation versus forever white toner? Well, sublimation, you can only sublimate on a white 100% polyester and hard surfaces with a polyurethane coating. With toner, you can put down that white layer, and then that'll be your backing, and then you can start applying to all types of substrates that are dark. So black t-shirts, black mugs, all types of things. And they have so many different types of papers to work with toners so that you can apply to so many different substrates. They even have water slide papers so that you can apply to like wax candles if you wanted to. But a lot of people will use the water slide for RC cars and things like that. How critical is the ink expiration date on the Sawgrass inks? So me personally, I haven't had an issue with it yet, and I've gone with inks about 6 months old past the expiration date. But according to Sawgrass, that can cause some color impurities, so do keep that in mind. How long can you keep a print? So using Sawgrass ink, so we have a file of prints that's probably about like 3 years old that we use for testing here and there, and it still does just fine. The color looks great on it, so no problem there. I don't have any scientific things to back that, but it looks great. Yeah, so that pretty much covers all the questions. How many times can I use a piece of parchment paper? As many times as you like. Don't let it get too many wrinkles or wobbles in it, because that'll really start to mess up your image. So, well, thank everyone so very much for taking the time to watch this. And if you have any questions, contact us directly at sales@uscutter.com. Again, this is Josh. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful day.